Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day. Don't forget, grab your smartphone and download the Lava Matra app and stay in touch. Guru Maharaj's message is your advantage. The following is a Zoom session with the South Indian Youth Boys by His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj on September 19th, 2020 in Sridham, Mayapur, India.
Makakaroti Rajalam Mangalang Ayatheyaram Yatkita Tadanande Sri Guru Nirtharidam Paramananda Madhavam Sri Chaitanya Iswaram Hare Om Tat Sat. So, in 2008 I had a stroke.
So, in 2008, I had a stroke.
And that left the left side of my face paralyzed.
So, since then, my left side of my face is paralyzed.
And I don't know if you can understand what I say.
So, I don't know whether you can understand what do I say.
So, I'm having it repeated.
So, I am having it repeated.
So this is a very interesting topic.
So, this is a very interesting topic.
How to be internally and externally strong.
How to be internally and externally strong.
We know that we are the Jiva Shakti, or the independent energies of the Lord.
We know that we are the Jiva Shaktis or the independent energies of the Lord.
And therefore we can be under the illusory energy, Mahamaya.
So therefore we can be under the illusory energy, Mahamaya.
Or the transcendental energy, Yogamaya.
Or the transcendental energy, Yogamaya.
So naturally, the Mahamaya, the material energy gives us various problems.
Naturally, the Mahamaya, the material nature, gives us various problems.
It allures us by thinking that we will have the body and that we can be healthy.
And it allures us thinking that we are the body.
And that we can be healthy.
And then we can be happy.
By sensual pleasure.
By sensual pleasures.
Now this is an illusion.
So this is an illusion.
But the same senses also give us suffering.
But the same senses also gives us suffering.
And even the pleasure is very momentary.
Even the pleasure is very momentary.
And not satisfying.
And not satisfying.
It's like a fish out of water.
It's like a fish out of water.
We need to have the spiritual bliss.
We need to have the spiritual bliss.
As long as we don't have that,
as long as we don't have that,
we are technically very weak.
We are technically very weak.
And we can be controlled in different ways.
And we can be controlled in different ways.
By the external energy.
By the external energy.
And this way you see that people they become very jubilant when they win a football game or something.
So in this way we can see people, they become very jubilant with football game or something.
If their team wins a cricket match.
If their team wins a cricket match.
Then when they lose.
When they lose.
They get depressed.
They get depressed.
Oh, life. Why am I living?
Oh, why am I living?
We heard that somebody in Bangladesh committed suicide when their cricket team lost.
We heard that somebody in Bangladesh, they committed suicide when their cricket team lost.
So that's we should be to be strong internally, externally.
So we should be strong internally and externally.
Internal strength comes from being under the shelter of the internal energy.
Internal strength comes from being under the shelter of the internal energy.
And external strength can come by good association,
And external strength can come by good association,
by transcendental association,
by transcendental association,
so that we surround ourselves with our Krishna conscious inputs.
so we can surrender ourselves with Krishna.
Surround ourselves.
So we can surround ourselves with Krishna conscious input.
We chant the holy names.
We chant the holy names.
We take Krishna prasadam.
We take Krishna prasadam.
We avoid the things which are against Krishna consciousness.
We avoid the things which are against Krishna consciousness.
That we become very strong.
In that way we become very strong.
Prabhupada was giving an instruction which we read this morning,
Prabhupada was giving us this instruction which we read in this morning.
that spiritual life is like shaving with a sharp razor.
So spiritual life is like shaving with a sharp razor.
If we're not very attentive,
If we are not very attentive,
we can cut ourselves.
we can cut ourselves
Now we need blood.
and we'll bleed blood.
If we're very careful, you can shave all right with no blood.
So we should be very careful so that we can shave all right and no blood.
So naturally, that we have to be very careful in our spiritual life.
Naturally, we have to be very careful in our spiritual life.
We cannot take anything for granted.
We cannot take anything for granted.
I mean, anything material.
Anything material.
So you know that material world is a dukkhalayam, a sasvadam,
We know that the material world is dukkhalayam asashvatam,
place of suffering,
place of suffering,
temporary.
temporary.
Now, in the youth, maybe one feels that, oh, I can be very healthy.
In the youth, one can feel, oh, I can be very happy
Just by some material arrangement.
just by some material arrangement.
Actually, as a youth, I was never happy.
Actually, as a youth, I was never happy.
I had, before Krishna consciousness,
This was before Krishna consciousness.
I would have some pleasure
I would have some pleasure
and have some suffering,
and would have some suffering,
but permanent happiness, fixed happiness, I didn't have.
but permanent happiness, fixed happiness, I didn't have.
When I came to Krishna consciousness,
When I came to Krishna consciousness,
I thought, let me try this fully, then I'll see.
I thought, let me try this fully and then I will see.
If I try it and it's not satisfying me,
If I try it and if it is not satisfying me,
I can give up,
I can give up
try something else.
and practice something else.
But if I don't try it,
But if I don't try it,
I don't fully submerge myself,
if I don't fully submerge myself,
how will I know?
how will I know?
So I tried it.
So I tried it.
I'm still here,
I'm still here,
52 years,
52 years.
and I never found any problem.
I never found any problem.
I mean, physically, material problems, so many.
Physically, material problems, so many.
1989, I was attacked by a crazy man
In 1989, I was attacked by a crazy man
in the Madrid airport,
in the Madrid airport,
and the doctor that operated on me said,
doctor that operated me, he said,
1 millimeter from my carotid artery.
it is 1 millimeter from my coronary
Corona artery.
coronal artery.
The artery that goes from the heart to the brain.
The artery that goes from the heart to the brain.
If that's cut, even the hospital they can't save you.
If that's cut, even the hospital they can't save you.
Just 1 minute, the doctor said, you must be blessed by God.
It's just 1 millimeter. The doctor said that you must be blessed by God.
So then in 2008 I had a stroke.
And in 2008, I had a stroke.
The doctor said, no chance of survival.
Doctor said, no chance for survival.
Still here,
But I'm still here.
by the mercy of Krishna.
By the mercy of Krishna.
And then other problems.
And then other problems.
So this physical world, there will be problems.
So this physical world, there will be problems.
And one of the youths in India, I forget where I was. Where was that last? Pune. He asked me, so being a devotee, don't you have some doubt? Why did you get this sickness?
So one devotee from Pune, he asked me, don't you have doubt?
One youth.
One youth asked me from Pune, he asked me, don't you have doubt? Why are you suffering like this?
I told him that. I have many disciples.
I told him that I have many disciples.
They're not all follow very strictly.
Not all follow very strictly.
I have to take their karma.
So I have to take their karma.
So it may be natural that I have to suffer.
So it is natural that I have to suffer.
And but to try to help people to advance in Krishna consciousness, I take this risk.
So to try to help people to advance in their Krishna consciousness, I take this risk.
Anyway, the point is that although there will be some physical difficulties,
Anyway, the point is that although there may be some physical difficulties,
actually the bliss of Krishna consciousness has been increasing.
actually the bliss of Krishna consciousness being increased.
One time I had a fever in 1970.
One time I had a fever in 1975.
And my body was on fire.
My body was on fire.
But I was listening to Prabhupada's classes on Nectar of Devotion.
I was listening to Prabhupada's classes on Nectar of Devotion.
I felt a great spiritual happiness.
I felt great spiritual happiness.
So when my body was suffering, my consciousness was blissful.
Even my body was something,
Suffering.
even my body was suffering, my consciousness was blissful.
And I realized I'm not the body.
Then I realized I'm not the body.
I'm actually the living force in the body.
I'm actually the living force in the body.
And that living force, if it's a connection, connected to Krishna,
If that living force, if it is connected to Krishna,
then naturally we feel happy.
then naturally we'll feel happy.
The material world, the happiness of the distress.
In the material world, there will be happiness, there will be distress.
We should be very much affected by that.
We shouldn't be very much infected by that.
Our goal should be to be God conscious, Krishna conscious.
Our goal should be to be God conscious or Krishna conscious.
To be practicing bhakti yoga.
To be practicing bhakti yoga.
And that will make us strong.
And that would make us strong.
Internally and externally.
Internally and externally.
Also, like externally, as I said, we want good association.
Externally, as I said, we want good association.
if you associate with devotees, it's very easy to be a devotee.
If you associate with devotee, it's very easy to be a devotee.
If you associate with people who are addicted to drinking,
If you associate with people, those who are addicted to drinking,
you may become a drunkard.
you maybe become a drunkard.
Depending on what association you keep,
Depending on what association you keep,
that can affect you.
that can affect you.
Try to keep good association.
Try to keep good association.
Prabhupada said the reason why we have established an ISKCON
Prabhupada said the reason why we have established ISKCON
is to give people that good association.
is to give people that good association.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So, of course, I would like to answer your questions.
Of course, I would like to answer your question.
I could speak longer
I could speak longer,
but your questions may be more relative.
so there are questions which may be more relative
More pertinent.
or pertaining.
What's that?
More
Yeah, muted.
Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj, for this inspiring class. I would request all the participants to put down your questions in the chat box, and Guru Maharaj will answer them now. Guru Maharaj, to start with, I have a question. Today morning, I received a call from one of the devotees. Like he was mentioning that another devotee who's initiated and who's been practicing since long, suddenly he's facing the problem of depression. And he was asking me, can I spend some time with him and things like that. So I was wondering, even devotees who are practicing for some time, so they are applying themselves to the process. So what could be the reason, Guru Maharaj, why they have to get into this depression and things like that? And how we can actually address them and help them out?
I don't know particularly
I don't know particularly
because it's a personal thing.
because that's a personal thing.
And what's the cause may be different for each people.
What's
Each
the
person.
what's the cause may be different for each person.
I don't know why that devotee was depressed.
I don't know why the devotee is depressed.
They did a study in Los Angeles.
They did a study in Los Angeles.
They thought that the devotees had some kind of mental problem.
They thought that the devotees had some kind of mental problem or something.
But not in America, 40% of the people have depression.
In America, 40% of the people have depression.
They found very few people had depression amongst the devotees.
They found very few people had depression amongst the devotees.
They were surprised.
They were surprised.
So, if someone gets absorbed in the external energy,
If someone gets absorbed in the external energy,
and they feel depression,
they may feel depression.
and that's why we have to be very careful.
So that's why we have to be very careful.
Keep ourselves in the spiritual bliss.
We should keep ourselves in the spiritual bliss.
Now it's the Purushottam month.
Now it is the Purushottam month.
It's a special month for Bhakti Yoga.
It's a special month for Bhakti Yoga.
Chanting every day.
Chanting every day.
Govardhana Dharam Vande.
Govardhanam Dharam Vande.
Gopala Goparupinam.
Gopalam Goparupinam.
Gokulotsavam Ishanam.
Gokulotsavam Ishanam.
Govindam Gopikapriyam.
Govindam Gopika Priyam.
We offer a lamp
And
to
then,
Radha and Krishna.
and then we offer a lamb to Radha and Krishna.
And like this, we chant our japa.
Like this, we chant our japa.
And normally an older devotee shouldn't be depressed.
Normally, an older devotee shouldn't be depressed.
I'm curious to know why that devotee is feeling depression.
I'm curious to know why the devotee is feeling depression.
Sometimes maybe the father is sick and one's attached to the father,
Sometimes maybe the father is sick and one is attached to the father,
or they have some material goal and
they have some material goal and
that's not realizable.
that is not realizable.
I don't know what, some people get depressed if they have an association with a woman.
I don't know, when some people when they get depressed when they don't have an association of
When they,
have an association of
and that somehow it's interrupted.
when they are interrupted by women.
They have a relationship and the relationship is,
Okay. When their relationship with the woman is interrupted,
and things like that. Why a regular brahmachari would feel depression, I don't know.
things like that, why a regular brahmachari feel depression, I don't know.
So I'd like to know more details of that person.
I would like to know more details about that person.
Or maybe it's just that a person feels, sometimes the devotee feels hopeless.
Sometimes devotees feel hopeless.
I feel, I'm not Krishna conscious. No hope.
They'll feel, I'm not Krishna conscious. They don't feel any hope.
It's like that they feel depressed.
So like that they'll feel depressed.
But actually, Lord Chaitanya gives his mercy to the most fallen.
Actually, Lord Chaitanya gives his mercy to the most fallen.
So if you are very deep down, very fallen,
So if you are very deep down, if you are very fallen, Dina, if you are very fallen,
then we stand a better chance to get delivered.
what is that mean?
We stand a better chance.
We stand a better chance to get delivered.
Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Pratitavana Tava Avatar
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Kuramur Patitapavana Hetu Shaba Avatar
Masama Pratita Napaiveya.
Moshama Patita Prabhu Napaive are.
No one more fallen than me.
There is no one more fallen than me.
I have your mercy on me.
I have.
So have your mercy on me.
So have your mercy on me.
You have come to deliver the most fallen.
You have come to deliver the most fallen.
I am the most fallen.
I am the most fallen.
Like that, Narottam Das Thakur is praying.
So like that, Narottam Das Thakur is praying.
I said once to Prabhupada, I'm the most fallen, deliver the fallen.
So I told Prabhupada once, Prabhupada, I am the most fallen. You deliver the most fallen.
He told me, you're not the most anything.
He told me, you are not the most anything.
So he taught me to be humble.
So it taught me to be humble.
Hey, there are many hands up.
Anyway, there are many hands up. Chidananda Nimai. Raghava Kirtan Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Hari Bol. Please ask Prabhu.
Guru Maharaj, আমি আপনার সেবা করতে চাই গুরু মহারাজ। আমি গত প্রায় 6 মাস ধরে গুরু মহারাজ ভক্তি জীবনের পরিস্থিতি খুবই খারাপ। আমি গুরু মহারাজ ঠিক মতো জব করতে পারতেছি না, মঙ্গলারতি হচ্ছে না। গুরু মহারাজ, আমি আবার আমার পুরাতন ভক্তি জীবনে ফিরে যেতে চাই।
কত মালা জপ করছেন?
গুরু মহারাজ, আগে 16 মালা করতাম, আপনার চরণে ঠাকুরকে আশ্রিত হই, তারপর গুরু মহারাজ নিয়মিত জপ করছে না। গুরু মহারাজ 1 বছরের মতো প্রায় 16 মালা কন্টিনিউ করেছি। এখন গুরু মহারাজ
এখন কত মালা করছেন?
গুরু মহারাজ সবসময় 16 হয় না, মাঝে মাঝে মিস হয়।
মাঝে মিস হয়।
He got it. He said that he used to chant 16 regularly.
He said that he used to chant 16 regularly.
And now he sometimes misses.
And now he sometimes misses.
See, you keep track
To,
of how many are short.
so you see, you should keep track how many you are short,
And then later on you make it up.
and later on you make it up.
So this way you can you keep your standard.
So in this way you can keep your standard.
Jayapataka, we say that he chanted 3 lakhs a day.
We say that Haridas Thakur, he chanted 3 lakhs a day.
Actually, he had a monthly quota.
So actually he had a monthly quota.
And some days he'd chant more, some days a little less.
Some days he would chant more, some day he would chant less.
But average is 3 lakhs a day.
So but average is 3 lakhs a day.
We just chant 1/12 of that, which is 16 rounds a day.
We just chant 1/12 of it, which is 16 rounds a day.
So, still, there may be times when you have difficulty.
Still, there might be time when we have difficulties.
And keep track and make it up.
And so keep track and make it up.
That way, maybe on a Ekadasi or some holy day,
In that way, maybe on Ekadashi or on some holidays,
you chant 64 rounds or 32 rounds.
you can chant 64 rounds or 32 rounds.
Make out your balance.
Make up your balance.
Don't be depressed.
Don't be depressed.
ঠিক আছে?
ঠিক আছে?
Hare Krishna Gurudev, please accept my respectful obeisances. I have a humble clarification. How as youth in general, how do we very quickly get over our attraction to the sense objects? This is my humble clarification. Gurudev, what activity should we do to get over our attraction to the sense objects very quickly?
And see, when I was 19, he told me, practice brahmacharya till you're 25.
You see, Prabhupada told me when I was 19, practice brahmacharya till you are 25.
And then with the guru, I'll make a decision.
And then with your guru, make a decision.
So, between 25 to 30, we can decide which way we go.
So, and then between 25 to 30, we can decide in which way we want to go.
So one way of helping the mind is to say, okay, I won't go into that sense attraction till later.
So, in one way, you can tell the mind that I won't go to the sense attraction till the later.
Postpone it.
Postpone it.
And then you can practice Krishna consciousness with your full concentration.
And then you can practice Krishna consciousness with your full concentration.
And also, by always staying busy in devotional service.
And also by always staying busy in devotional service.
There's no time for the sense attractions.
There is no time for the sense attractions.
Naturally, the living being with thinking, feeling, and willing and doing.
Naturally, the living beings, they have thinking, willing, and feeling.
Thinking, feeling, willing, and doing.
Thinking, feeling, willing, and doing.
So we should be so fixed in Krishna's service.
So we should be so fixed in Krishna's service.
Always thinking about Krishna.
And always thinking about Krishna.
We try that. Then about 25 to 30.
So we should try that 25 to 30.
And then we can decide which way will be stronger.
And then we can decide in which way we'll be stronger.
As a grihastha or as a brahmachari.
As a grihastha or as a brahmachari.
Gopati Guru, can you read the questions from chat box? There are so many questions.
Should I answer the hands up? I see the question.
Yeah, Raghav Kirtan. Dilli Prasad Prabhu, please ask your question. Unmute yourself.
Oh, he's saying look in the chat box. What should I do? Huh?
Please accept the symbol of the Genesis. So I have a question that how to become stable and strong when the situations are worse. So how can we be stable in our devotional activities?
The question is, how do we be stable and strong when the situation is difficult? We'll always be, how could you study in college if there are exams?
It's like, how could we study in the college if there are exams?
There will be exams.
There will be exams.
You can't avoid it.
You can't avoid it.
That's how you get your degree. That's how you get your degree.
That's how you get your degree.
You want to be a devotee.
So you want to be a devotee.
There'll be tests.
So there will be test.
And it's not that it's a cheap thing. It's a very valuable thing.
It's not a cheap thing. It's a very rare thing, valuable thing.
So naturally there'll be difficulties.
So naturally there will be difficulties.
And don't be disturbed by that.
And don't be disturbed by that.
It's part of the process.
A part of the process. It's a part of it all.
So these questions, see in the chat box.
Yeah. Raghav Kirtan already asked. Next. Gopi Krishna.
If you have sent questions directly to me, I will read one question here, Guru Maharaj. Vinayak is as Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, my obeisances unto your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I am not attracted to the spiritual world. I don't know why. It's amazing. Please tell me about the spiritual world and what should I do to be attracted so that I can take up sadhana and regulative principles and bhakti seriously. Thank you, Guru Maharaj.
Say this material world, a temporary world, a shashvatam.
You see, this material world is a temporary world, a shashvatam.
And it's a place of suffering.
And it's a place of suffering.
If you look at the Al Jazeera or the TRT world or any of the movie stations,
If you look
any
up,
other news stations,
if you look at the Al Jazeera, TRT world, any of these news stations,
you see all the difficulties.
you see all the difficulties.
Some country there's flood.
Some country,
Flood.
there is flood.
Some country, hurricane, a cyclone.
Some country there are hurricane, cyclone.
Sometimes there's war.
Some country there is war.
Some pandemic.
Some pandemic.
Rising cases
Rising cases of the pandemic.
No old age, disease, birth or death in the spiritual world.
There is no old age, disease or death in the spiritual world.
There, everyone is related with Krishna in a loving relationship.
There everyone is related with Krishna in a loving relationship.
And naturally, one feels loving ecstasy all the time.
And naturally one feels loving ecstasy all the time.
So, you have your choice. In this material world, there's suffering, there's some lust.
So you have your choice. In the material world there is suffering, there is some lust.
Temporarily, you satisfy the lust.
Temporarily you will satisfy your lust.
I think that's the goal of life.
And you think that's the goal of life.
But it's not actually what we're looking for.
But it is not actually what we are looking for.
What we're looking for is the spiritual world.
What we are looking for is the spiritual world.
A free light. Free light.
Free light.
a free choice,
free choice.
a spiritual bliss.
So it's for spiritual bliss.
And there you serve the Lord out of love.
There you serve the Lord out of love.
Here you work for some office
Here you work for some office
because you make them money.
because you make them money,
You're not making money,
and you are not making money.
they lay you off. They lay you off,
They lay you off.
fire you.
They'll fire you.
It's not it's a business relation, no love.
It is a business relation. There is no love.
So it depends what you want. It depends what you want.
It depends what you want.
If you're attracted by love and freedom from all kind of suffering,
So if you are attracted by law and
love
and
freedom from all kind of suffering,
freedom from all kinds of suffering,
then that's the spiritual world.
then that is the spiritual world.
Guru Maharaj, the next question is Mohan Ranga Prabhu from ISKCON Perambur, Chennai. And his question is, I'm in association of devotees from past 8 years. Just like any other devotee, I could admire all positive aspects of other devotees. While at one point of time, there is a fall in graph where only negatives of other bhaktas are visible. I feel many other devotees feel the same as well. Guru Maharaj, how to overcome this mentality of fault finding? Is there any particular reason for such thoughts appearing in my mind?
Someone asked this type of question to Srila Prabhupada.
Someone asked this type of question to Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhupada said the temples are hospitals.
Prabhupada said that the temples are hospitals,
Spiritual hospitals.
spiritual hospitals.
And you go to the hospital and you see sick people.
When you go to the hospital, then we can see sick people.
And it's like natural.
It's natural.
That's what hospitals are for.
That's what hospitals are for.
Some are doctors that treat the sick people.
There are doctors, they treat the sick people.
And then the nurses who help patients.
And then there are nurses who helps the patients.
They're not as called by the doctors, but they help.
They are scolded by the doctor.
They're not as qualified as the doctors.
They are not as qualified as the doctor, but they serve the patients.
So, like that, and the devotees will have some defect.
So like that, devotees will have some defect
Until they're perfect.
until they are perfect.
But if we see the good qualities in others,
But we see the good qualities in others.
see all the good qualities, all the things that they're doing
See all the good qualities, all the things that they are doing
for Krishna,
for Krishna.
and see the defects in ourselves.
What's that?
See the defects in ourselves.
And see the defects in ourselves.
So don't be like a fly,
Don't be like a fly
which always goes to the
which
cut wounds in the stool.
always go to the cut wounds, to the stool.
See the good qualities.
See the good qualities.
We try to see where we can improve.
We should try to see what we can improve.
It's not a competition like in the material world.
It's not a competition like in the material world.
Not that by putting others down, we go up.
It's not that by putting others down we will go up.
They told me in the corporate world, sometimes the operation manager and the quality control manager.
In the corporate world, someone is an operation manager, someone is a quality control manager,
Sometimes the marketing manager.
someone is the marketing manager.
One manager tries to screw up another manager
One manager tries to screw up another manager
so that he can be promoted to general manager.
so that he can be promoted to general manager.
So this thing is there in the material world.
So this thing is there in the material world,
But it's not like that in spiritual life.
to some extent in the spiritual world.
Not like that in the spiritual life.
Not like that in the spiritual life.
Krishna rather sees how you will cooperate with others,
Krishna rather sees how you cooperate with others,
how you help others,
how you help others,
not how you fault find on others.
how not how,
How you do not fault find.
how you do not
Fault find.
fault find with others.
One of the qualities of devotee is near matsaranam,
One of the qualification of the devotee is nirmatsaranam,
freedom from envy, from fault finding.
freedom from envy and fault finding.
So that things, everything we can dovetail,
Everything we can dovetail
except that one thing.
except that one
That
thing.
thing we have to renounce.
Nothing we have to renounce.
That thing we have to renounce.
That thing we have to renounce.
Not 3 words. Yes.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. The next question is how to raise above the bodily consciousness. For example, we will be very disturbed with little suffering in our body. How to raise about that?
How to
Raise above the bodily sufferings. That bodily suffering, the
How to
bodily-
raise above the bodily sufferings?
You know, Prabhupada had said that Krishna consciousness Bhakti Yoga is a gradual process.
Prabhupada has said that Krishna consciousness Bhakti Yoga is a gradual process.
So we should expect that living in this material world will be a certain amount of suffering.
We should expect living in this material world there will be a certain amount of suffering.
And so why we practice Krishna consciousness
So and then why we practice Krishna consciousness
and encounter some of the sufferings of the material world.
to counter some of the suffering of the material world.
No, we encounter
We encounter some suffering in the material world.
As I said, I had a fever.
As I said, I had a fever.
At the same time, I was hearing the classes of Prabhupada.
At the same time, I was reading and I was hearing to the classes of Prabhupada.
I felt great spiritual bliss.
I felt great spiritual bliss.
My body was on fire.
My body was on fire.
High fever.
High fever.
So I realized I'm not the body.
So I realized I'm not the body.
My consciousness was in bliss.
My consciousness was in bliss.
My body was suffering.
My body was suffering.
So that happens practically.
But that happens practically.
And how do you get that realization? I don't know.
How did I get that realization? I don't know.
That happened naturally.
But that happened naturally.
So like that, even though we have some material suffering,
Like that, even though we have some material suffering,
we continue to hear the spiritual lectures, to chant.
we should continue to hear to spiritual lectures, we should chant.
And that way we can realize this, that Krishna consciousness is not dependent on this material body.
In that way, we can realize this, that Krishna consciousness is not dependent on this material body.
Are you going to read the question or are you going to try to see the
Okay,
question?
I'll read Guru Maharaj.
Ask.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for your wonderful association, Maharaj. Maharaj, I had one question. That how to get everlasting taste in Krishna consciousness so that we will never look back to material life. Right now we do get taste, but it is occasionally.
You see, there's a step-by-step advancement.
You see, that's a step-by-step advancement.
Adho Shraddha, first you have faith,
Adho Shraddha, first you'll have faith,
start to listen.
Try to listen,
And then you have good association.
and then you'll have good association.
That's satsanga.
That is satsanga.
And then next is vajra kriya.
And then next is bhajana kriya.
You start to practice chanting and devotional service.
You start to practice chanting and and doing devotional service.
And then you are usually at that stage, one takes initiation.
Usually at that stage one takes initiation.
As you say, sometimes Krishna gives special mercy, Lord Chaitanya gives one a glimpse of spiritual bliss.
As I said, sometimes Krishna gives special mercy, Lord Chaitanya gives a glimpse of spiritual bliss.
But as you said, it may not be lasting.
As I said, it might not,
As you said,
as you said, it might not be lasting.
then one takes initiation.
Then one takes initiation
It's chant, avoiding offenses.
and they chant avoiding offenses.
They get rid of the different anarthas,
They get rid of the different anarthas,
anartha nivritti,
anartha nivritti,
and then they reach the stage of nishta,
and then they reach the stage of nishta,
which is fixed up in Krishna consciousness.
which is fixed up in Krishna consciousness.
Then after nishta
And then after nishta
comes the stage of ruchi.
comes the stage of ruchi.
Ruchi means a consistent taste.
Ruchi means consistent taste.
And that's what you want to achieve.
That's what you want to achieve.
That's a few steps
But that's a few steps
down the road.
down the road.
Then after that, there's a Shakti.
After that there is a Shakti.
You become very attached to the taste.
You'll become very attached to the taste.
After that, there's a stage of ecstatic love.
After that there is a stage of ecstatic love.
Where you start to manifest the 8 symptoms of the loving ecstasy.
You'll start to manifest the 8 symptoms of loving ecstasy.
And there's pure love.
Then there is pure love.
So what level you're on,
In what level you are in,
that way you can understand
in that way you can understand
how many levels you have to go.
how many levels you have to go.
You're getting some glimpse of taste.
You are getting some glimpse of taste.
So naturally, like when one has, that's a special mercy.
Naturally, if one has that, that's a special mercy.
And then you want to get steady taste, regular, consistent taste.
Then you want to get regular, consistent taste.
That's called ruchi.
That is called ruchi.
So that's after initiation at 1, 2, third step up.
That is after initiation, 1, 2, third step up.
But by Lord Chaitanya's mercy,
By Lord Chaitanya's mercy,
sometimes we get a special blessing.
sometimes we get the special blessing.
We have a great taste momentarily.
We will have great taste momentarily.
So then we realize that if we keep up with the process,
So then we will realize if we keep up with the process,
we will find permanent bliss.
we will find permanent bliss.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Please accept my... Okay. I have analyzed myself and found that I am very sentimental, emotional by nature. On one hand, this is good because I try to do my services in the best possible manner for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna. But on the other hand, this is very problematic. When devotees hurt me by criticizing unfairly, that time I start feeling worthless and lose all enthusiasm. It takes quite a time to recover from that. Okay, it's a question by Shanta Lakshmi Narasimha Das from Mayapur.
That's why Lord Chaitanya, in the 3rd verse of the 6th Shastaka,
That's what Lord Chaitanya has said in the 3rd verse of Shishashtaka.
That you be humble, tolerant,
You should be humble, tolerant,
offer respect to all others.
offer respects to all others.
Don't expect any respect for yourself.
Don't expect any respect for yourself.
And that way you can always chant the holy name.
In that way, you can always chant the holy name.
So it seems you're expecting that others will say nice things to you.
Since you are expecting that others will say nice things to you,
Lord Chaitanya advised we shouldn't expect that.
but Lord Chaitanya advised we shouldn't expect that.
And then in other words, be let down.
Then will be never be
Let down.
let down. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. How to overcome monetary pleasure, especially when pressure, especially when our condition keep getting difficult and we are jobless, and maintain our spiritual sadhana effectively.
That's the difficulty in the material world.
That's the difficulty in the material world.
That people want a job and they get salary.
People want to get a job and then they want salary.
And I asked some devotees, who has the craziest boss?
When I asked some devotees who has the craziest boss,
Who has a crazy boss?
crazy boss,
Everybody raised their hand.
everybody raised their hand.
They all felt their boss was crazy.
They all felt that their boss were crazy.
So, sometime like I heard that Jayapataka requested to work for a year and a half outside and then join.
So sometimes I heard that in Chowpatty they request people to work for a year and a half and then join.
So that they have an idea what it's like in the material world.
Then they will have idea what life is like in the material world.
I don't know if that's true, but
I don't know whether that's true or what.
but anyway, that's one advantage of being a brahmachari.
Anyway, that's one advantage of being a brahmachari.
We get our prasadam.
We get our
We get
prasadam
our cloth.
at 10 o'clock.
We get our cloth.
We get our cloth
And we serve. And we have our service.
and we have our service.
We don't worry about anything.
We don't worry about anything.
But if you're working outside,
But if you are working outside,
you have to worry about
you have to worry about
getting a job,
getting job,
getting a salary,
getting salary,
tolerating your boss,
tolerating your boss,
etc., etc.
etc., etc. Question from Dinesh Kumar. How
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances under your lotus feet. Maharaj, how to have proper consciousness while do
How Jayapataka Swami initiated his Krishna consciousness journey. Being an American by nationality, it is very rare that at that times to follow Krishna consciousness. How he made up his mind to listen to Srila Prabhupada. Question from Dinesh Kumar.
I was looking for a spiritual master.
I was looking for a spiritual master.
I wanted to find someone who could tell me the answers to life.
I wanted to find someone who could tell me the answers
What is the purpose of life?
for what is the purpose of life.
Why am I here?
Why am I here?
What am I supposed to do?
What am I supposed to do?
So I tried different paths.
So I tried different paths,
Buddhism,
Buddhism,
Ashtanga Yoga,
Ashtanga Yoga,
astral projection,
astral projection,
various processes.
various process.
And I thought, I'll go to India and find a guru.
And then I thought I'll travel to India and find a guru.
But then I found Prabhupada's disciples.
But then I found Srila Prabhupada's disciples.
So then I thought, let me see the guru.
And then I thought, let me see the guru.
See this for real.
See whether this is real.
And then I went to see Prabhupada. That time he was in Montreal,
And then I went to see Srila Prabhupada. At that time he was in Montreal.
and then he fulfilled all my expectations.
And then he fulfilled all my expectations. Hari Bol.
And then he asked me what I wanted to do.
He asked me what I wanted to do.
I told him that I wanted to go to India.
I told him that I wanted to go to India.
He said, I'll train you up first,
He said, I'll train you up first
and I'll send you.
and then I'll send you.
So I stayed about 2 years in the West under Prabhupada's guidance.
So I stayed in the West for 2 years under Prabhupada's guidance.
And he sent me to India.
Then he sent me to India.
Then I was in India for many years,
And then I was in India for many years,
since 1970.
since 1970.
And then he asked me to be a Indian citizen.
And then he asked me to be an Indian citizen
I could stay here.
so that I can stay here.
To do that, I had to renounce my American citizenship.
To do that, I have to renounce my American citizenship.
So I'm today speaking to you as an Indian.
So today I am speaking to you as an Indian.
I renounced my American citizenship.
I have renounced my American citizenship.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances unto your lotus feet. Maharaj, how to have proper consciousness while doing our duties, our services and doing sadhana?
Say whatever our duties are, we do them as offering to Krishna.
You see, whatever our duties are, we do it as an offering to Krishna.
And that way, our activities are connected to Krishna.
In that way, our activities are connected to Krishna.
So, we can be fully Krishna conscious
So we can be fully Krishna conscious
no matter what we do.
no matter what we do.
That's called Yukta Vairagya.
And that's called Yukta Vairagya.
Devoting everything in the service of Krishna.
For devotees, everything in
Devoting everything.
devoting everything in the service of Krishna. The last question.
Hold on.
Actually, I was initiated by you. I was initiated by you in 2012 in Dhaka. Actually, I always want to be connected with you. But externally, I feel connected, but internally, sometimes I feel connected, but most of the time I feel disconnected with you. How can I feel always that such a natural touch, such as a father has a natural touch with his child, such kind of natural touch, how can I?
You're in Bangladesh now or
Are you in Bangladesh now
in South India?
or in South India? কোথায় আছো?
তুমি কোথায় আছো?
তুমি কোথায় আছো?
Bangladesh.
In Bangladesh.
Chattogram.
Chottograme.
Chattogram. Did you download the Jayapataka Swami app?
Do you download the Jayapataka Swami app?
Guru Maharaj.
So I send you about 6 to 10 messages a day.
I send you about 6 to 10 messages a day.
That help you feel connected?
That doesn't help you to feel connected?
গুরু মহারাজ সেগুলো আমরা পাচ্ছি কিন্তু আপনার বাংলা লেকচার খুব কম হওয়ার কারণে আমরা অনেক ক্ষেত্রে আপনার কথাগুলো শুনতে পারি না।
আমি ঠিক বুঝতে পারিনি।
Can you say it in English?
না, আমি বাংলা বুঝি।
I'm telling that we have limited number of Bangla lectures.
We have limited number of.
We can connect with connect with you in our mother language. That is why the connection remains always weak.
That's
We want about that.
I do every night at 7 p.m. I do a class on Chaitanya Lila.
Every night at 7 p.m. I give a class on Chaitanya Leela.
And that's translated into Bengali.
And that's translated into Bengali.
এটা বাংলাতে অনুবাদ হচ্ছে Bengali at the Jayapataka Swami Bangla
And
Facebook page.
it is live at the Jayapataka Swami Bangla Facebook page.
আমি বলবো আমার অ্যাপ যাতে বেশি বাংলা ক্লাসটা হয় I'll tell the people at my app that put more Bengali classes.
I tell that people, those who are working for my app, to put more Bengali messages. Classes.
Messages are there in Bengali.
Messages are there in Bengali.
2 more minutes. Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you very much for your participation.
I hope you are very internally and externally strong.
I hope you are both internally and externally strong.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Do you like our ad-free videos? Be sure to subscribe to our channel. We publish new videos every day, and don't forget to like and share our channel.